So hard to see from the moment we arrive.
Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've been sitting in this chair filming. This is actually my first time in the entire quarter coming home from school. So I'm home from the weekend and filming a bunch of things, but today's video I'm really excited about because I wanted to do this for like over a year and a half. This video is kind of inspired by Mariah Leonard. She did a video talking about hidden gem makeup products from popular brands. And I felt like that topic really encompassed a lot of my favorites because I feel like certain brands have like really hyped up favorite products in their line. So inevitably a lot of the other things in their line are going to get overshadowed by those like cult favorite products that they sell. And I think a lot of those overshadowed items are like really standout products from the brands. So today I have about like 12-ish hidden gem products. These are standout products from like really popular brands that I feel just don't get enough attention within the line, but are really good products that definitely deserve more hype. So, and yeah, I'm just really excited to be filming again. I always get so excited to come home, reunite with my beloved products and also my dear sweet camera and just talk. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. First off, I feel like the Becca Skin Love line is a hidden gem within the brand altogether. They had an entire Skin Love line. I think that came out like last year, maybe 2 years ago. And honestly, I think the Skin Love line was very ahead of its time. It was like fresh skin, natural, dewy look focus, which I love. And this was also around the time that I feel like matte full coverage foundations were at the peak of their popularity. So maybe that's why the Becca Skin Love line just didn't get the intense recognition for the excellence that it is. But probably my favorite thing from the entire line is the Becca Skin Love foundation. I use this one in my Valentine's Day Get Ready With Me. And I haven't been wearing foundation on a daily basis throughout like January and the beginning of February just because I have been struggling with midterms. So I would say I wear foundation maybe 2 to 3 days out of the week, and then the rest of the days of the week I'm going foundation free. But when I have been wearing foundation, it's pretty much just been this. I'm actually not wearing it today. I'm testing out the new Beet Changemaker foundation right now on my skin. So let me know how my face looks, if it looks better, worse. Hopefully not worse. But yeah, this is one of my favorite products from Becca as a whole. But yeah, this is one of my favorite foundations and I think one of the best things that Becca's ever done in my opinion. It's such a beautiful light feeling on the skin. It really does not create this like heavy layer, which especially because I've been going more makeup free often, I've started to like really notice when foundation is on my skin, and I'm just wanting things that feel like a very nice light layer at the very least. So this really delivers that for me. I think it's like glowy enough that it satisfies my dewy soul, but I also think it's not too aggressive. So if you do have an oily skin type, I still think that this might work for you and I would recommend trying out a sample. Literally my only gripe with it is that the shade range is kind of weird. I feel like the undertones are kind of strange, so I do have to use foundation mixers, which I'll show you later in the video, just to kind of get the shade adjusted to my level of like yellowness. But besides that, this is a foundation that I just really love like reaching for and I think is very much slept on. The next thing I want to mention is from Laneige. They're one of my favorite skincare brands, and starting in December I've been testing out the Laneige Cica sleeping mask. Cica is a really great ingredient for people who have sensitive skin. I am somebody who tends to just get red and irritated at literally anything. Cica is a very good hypoallergenic calming ingredient, so if you ever overstrip your skin, if your skin is inflamed or angry, Cica or Centella Asiatica is one of those really good ingredients that can help calm down your skin at a faster rate. Basically, the Cica sleeping mask is like a thicker cream version of their like cult favorite popular sleeping mask, which is their water sleeping mask. This is more of, as the name would imply, like a watery balm texture, so it's hydrating, but I wouldn't say it's quite as like occlusive and just nourishing as the Cica sleeping mask. I see this getting so much attention, but I think this is a beautiful product. Honestly, I prefer the Cica sleeping mask to the regular water one, and just because it's a thicker texture, I don't feel like it's just for dry skin as well. I think every skin type needs these types of calming ingredients, especially if you are going in with a lot of active ingredients. I love having this in my routine as my moisturizer just to give me that last like calming dose of ingredients. And I know this launched sometime late last year, but I really haven't seen it getting any attention, and I feel like the water sleeping mask gets pretty much all the attention. So this has been one of my favorite new skincare additions and a very slept on product from Laneige. So we all know how I feel about Colourpop lipsticks.
I love you, bitch.
A good like 50% of my lip product collection is Colourpop. I definitely think that Colourpop as a whole is not like underhyped, but I feel like most of the shine and most of the attention gets placed on the liquid lipsticks, particularly the Ultra Satin Lips, which is one of my favorite formulas for liquid lipsticks. But my favorite lip formula from them is actually their Velvet Blur Luxe lipsticks. I don't love the matte Luxe lipsticks or the cream ones, but the Velvet Blur is such a good formula. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's a little bit of like a blotted type texture. So you get this beautiful color payoff. It's semi-matte, but it's not drying either. I actually really like just applying a tiny bit of this and then sharing it out all over my lips for kind of washed over effect. But this is truly one of my favorite bullet lipstick formulas. It's really glidey, their colors are beautiful. Virgo Moon is this beautiful kind of like brownie pink toned nude. Classic, like right in the middle, not too pink and not too like yellow toned either. And it's just one of my favorite lipstick shades ever. The shade right here I swatched is called Oasis, and then I have another one called CA Love that I wear all the time. Even though these are a little bit more on the expensive side in terms of what Colourpop offers for lips, I think this and then the Luxe Liquid Lips are probably my favorite lip formulas that they've ever come out with. But this formula in particular is a lot more consistent. So across the board, I feel like the Velvet Blur Luxe lipsticks are just great quality, and this is one of my favorite formulas from Colourpop. I truly cannot believe that these don't get more attention than they do. For Anastasia Beverly Hills, I actually have 2 hidden gem products, which I didn't really think I would find just because like pretty much everything Anastasia makes is very hyped up and gets a lot of attention. The first product is in my dorm room. I don't have it with me, but I will flash it on screen. It's actually a tool, and I don't normally spend a lot of money on tools. I am known to purchase $1 beauty blenders from AOA Studio. I pretty much use affordable brushes only. I really don't see the need to splurge on tools unless they truly have a unique effect that can't be replicated with something cheaper, and that is how I feel about the Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil sharpener. I've tried out many sharpeners. I'm currently using this Urban Decay Grindhouse sharpener right now. It's okay, like I don't mind it, but the one I have in my dorm is the Anasazi one because that is truly the only pencil sharpener I've ever found that sharpens things to a point. Nothing gets them as sharp as the Anasazi one, so that's particularly important to me for my lip liners. They get blunted down very fast, and no other sharpener I've ever tried gets them to that nice sharp point that the Anastasia one does. Something about the Anastasia one also doesn't get clogged as quickly, especially if I'm sharpening something that's more creamy in texture, like a very creamy gel liner or like a creamier lip liner. I feel like it can get kind of clogged inside the blades, but the Anastasia one never does that. It's a $6 sharpener, which at first I was just like, there is no way in hell I'm spending $6 on a pencil sharpener, but it truly just nothing else works like that one. Also, because it's so long lasting, I've only had to repurchase it once, so as much as I was like, why am I falling in love with a $6 pencil sharpener, it has been 100% worth it. And then the other hidden gem product I want to mention is the ABH Liquid Glow. This I feel like really deserves a lot more shine. That was not intended to be a dad joke, but it very much became one. This kind of shocks me with how little like attention and hype this one gets, because they put a lot of work into the campaign. I remember when this first came out, they had an entire campaign with Amrezy like covered in body highlighter. Also, Anastasia is known for their highlighters and their glow products, so I figured this would get a lot of attention, but I really don't see a lot of people talking about this, and I don't see Anastasia like pushing this product as much, which I think sucks because it's probably one of my favorite liquid highlighters behind my Glossier Night Shine. My problem with most liquid highlighters is I feel like they can disrupt the foundation that I have underneath them. It's become less of a problem because I don't really set my face down as much, but this highlighter, it's such a smooth, like light, almost watery texture that I really felt like it was going to disrupt whatever like creamy foundation I had underneath it, but it just like smooths out into this beautiful, like almost wet looking glistening glow. It also looks really beautiful on a bare face, but even with a full face of makeup, which normally I feel like people go towards powdered highlighters for that effect, this can give you that like editorial wet looking sheen on your cheeks, and I just think this is like Anastasia glow at its finest. The shade Perla is my favorite shade, but I feel like this deserves a lot more hype than it ever got, and because they're a hidden gem product, I've seen them sold in TJ Maxx a couple times, and I think this is one of the few products that makes it to TJ Maxx that I think you should get. Most of the time I feel like things end up at TJ Maxx and Marshalls for a reason. This I don't understand why it ended up on discount, but I'm not complaining because $13 for this is well worth it. Oprah is known for their highlighters and I guess their liquid lipsticks to a certain degree, but one of my favorite products from them is completely matte. But I think that their matte blushes are honestly god tier. This is the shade Bellini. These got a tiny bit of attention when they came out, but like most things in the beauty world, they get outpaced by other new releases and just like quickly fell out of everyone's attention spans. Really smooth, decent amount of color payoff, but it's not too pigmented either, and that's just how I like my blushes. I don't want them to be like super bright to a point where it's going to be really hard to blend out, but I also don't want them to be like super powdery and not have any pigmentation, and this is just that perfect right in between. Bellini is one of my favorite peach tone blushes, and Oprah is a brand that I wasn't sure if I wanted to mention it in this video just because I feel like most of their products are like hidden, and they have like a lot of products in their line actually. I feel like people only pay attention to the highlighters and the lipsticks. They have foundations and primers and they're tempting eyeshadows. So a lot of their products are like underhyped and hidden, but I think some of them deserve to be hidden, but this is 100% a hidden gem in my opinion. Oprah is very much a brand that I'm rooting for in 2020. I want to see them do things that are not this.
I agree. I've had it, and I'm so.
You know what I've had?
It.
A product that is pretty much essential to my routine. I use these almost every day, and I, to a certain degree, probably couldn't do my makeup without them, but for some reason I rarely ever mention, are the e.l.f. Mixed Match Shade Adjuster Drops. These are the only foundation shade adjusters I have ever found that don't actually change the consistency of the foundation on me. I have the deepener, and I also have the yellow shade adjuster drops, so whenever I have a foundation that is too pale or too pink, I can mix these in and just get it to the perfect shade for me. So for example, the Becca one, because it's a little bit on the like peachy toned undertone side, I do like 1 drop of this and like a half drop of this one, and it just becomes this perfect shade for me. Like I said, there are a lot of different shade adjuster options on the market, affordable and high-end. I've tried the expensive Cover FX ones, I've also tried the NYX ones, and the e.l.f. ones are the only ones I've found that don't change how the finish and the consistency of the foundation is. Keeps the foundation in the original formula that it was intended to be in, but it just changes the color instead of changing the actual consistency and how it sits on the face. I think these are $4 each, so affordable, work really well, and are a true essential in my collection. So these I feel like are very slept on. I think I'm one of the 5 YouTubers on earth who still has and still uses very regularly the Kylie Cosmetics concealer. This got a lot of attention when it came out, and I think a lot of the reviews were good, but like many other products where people review them and say they're good, a lot of people stop using them. In particular, I feel like a lot of people said that this was like one of their new favorite concealers and then went back to using Tarte Shape Tape. This has actually been a constant favorite for me over the past like 2 years or so that I've had this. I really love this formula for spot concealing on the face. On the under eyes, it's like more meh for me. I still think it looks nice on the under eyes, but I think this truly shines on the face. I have the shade Ivory, and it's pretty much a perfect match for me. But I just think this is a really good concealer. And Kylie's line has a bunch of SKUs, so it's not a surprise to me that a lot of their products go under the radar. Things are bound to get lost in the shuffle when you have like 16 million products being sold. But I feel like the products that Kylie's known for are really only her lip kits. There are a lot of hit and misses from Kylie, but I think that the skin concealer was one of my favorite things I've tried from her. Also, like Kylie with the millions of SKUs, is Makeup Revolution. So this video was filmed a couple weeks ago, obviously, and Manny MUA recently came out with a really great video that I think a lot of you guys, everybody should watch, about Makeup Revolution and his situation with them duping one of his products from Luna Beauty. And that really changed my perspective a lot on Makeup Revolution as a brand and my entire like view of their dupe stuff, because I think they really did something not great to him. Makeup Revolution is a brand that I've received PR from in the past, and maybe me making this video and this statement will make them take me off the list. I don't give a shit. But I think that they did cross the line there, and I'm definitely reevaluating my relationship with the brand and whether I will continue to buy makeup from them. But yeah, this was filmed a while ago, so. They have just an intense amount of products in both their like Revolution line, the Revolution Pro line, the I Heart Makeup line. They have like 6 million brands under them, so it's not a surprise that they have way too many products out. So it's really easy to get overwhelmed on their website or just looking through their product offerings, but something I really enjoy from them are their setting sprays. This is the Rose Fizz one. Good amount of product in here. I feel like this is a really good drugstore dupe for Urban Decay All Nighter. Gives a really similar effect to the skin, similar amount of longevity to it as well. And I feel like this not only like locks in my face of makeup for the day, but it also does a really nice job of just melting everything together and giving me that like slight glow that I love dousing my face in setting spray for. So especially because there are more affordable options on the market, I just really don't see myself spending money on a more expensive setting spray at this point, because things like this exist. That being said, I did use my Versailles Rose Gold Mist this morning. Another product from Colourpop that I want to mention, the Through My Eyes palette with I Love Sarahi, is, in my humble opinion, one of the best palettes that they've ever come out with in the entirety of Colourpop's history. This color scheme is truly beautiful, very cohesive, and the quality in here is absolutely stunning. Almost fills the same niche as the Jackie Aina palette for me in that it has a lot of neutrals in here, so I can theorize like those basic kind of richer tone neutral looks, but you also have a few like pops of color in here that work really well with the neutral shades, so I feel like you can do those kind of mixed half colorful, half neutral looks as well, or full on colorful looks depending on what you want to do. I think this is awesome and really does not get enough attention as one of Colourpop's greatest palettes ever, especially with the release of their monochromatic palettes and now like some of their bigger palettes, or even some of their earlier like 12 pan palettes like the Yes Please palette. I think those get a lot more attention than this one did, and this is a perfect way to do a slightly bigger palette. You have 16 shades in here, which I feel like 20 shades is a little bit much, but I feel like 16 is like a perfect spot for a medium / big sized palette. They managed to do a bunch of different shades in here but create a really cohesive, beautiful color story, and you get a mirror in here, which is lovely. So I think this is a beautiful palette inside and out. Yeah, use code 5JuliaC Mazzucato. 3 more products left. I don't really talk about Wet n Wild very often on my channel just because I don't love a lot of their products. In terms of like affordable / drugstore brands, I feel like there are so many better ones for around the same price point. For example, I feel like Colourpop and Essence create a lot of drugstore products that feel like high-end quality, whereas Wet n Wild, I feel like they create drugstore products with drugstore quality, if that makes sense. So I don't really have a lot of favorites from their line, but something I really enjoy that I don't see people talking about a lot is their Wet n Wild Mega Glow contour stick. I hate this as a contour, it's disgusting, but as a cream bronzer, lovely. This really does remind me a lot of my Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer, which is one of my favorite cream bronzers. It has a similar tone, but this just blends really nicely into the skin. I feel like it gives you that nice diffusion of warmth, but it's not too orange. So after I go into cream contouring, I just like to pop a little bit right here, up around the perimeter of my face as well. This blends out very easily with the stippling brush, and I think it's only $4. So by far, Wet n Wild's like best product in my opinion. The Ordinary, I feel like can be a very overwhelming brand to start looking into the product line for, just because you have to have kind of a knowledge of ingredients and skincare ingredients to kind of understand what to look for, but they have a lot of options and a lot of raw ingredient materials. And if I think about their most popular hyped up products, I think about the alpha hydroxy acid peeling solution, that red thingy. I think about the niacinamide zinc serum, which I love so much. I think about their retinoid, the lactic acid. But besides the niacinamide zinc serum, my favorite thing from the entire line is the Ordinary Squalane Cleanser. If you have dry skin, or honestly even like normal to dry skin, you're gonna love this. For me, this kind of has a similar finish and effect on my skin as the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser for a lot less money. Squalane is one of the best hydrating ingredients for dry skin. I do a double cleansing routine, which means I go in with an oil or like a balm cleanser first to kind of melt off my makeup. I just like to cleanse very thoroughly, massage it into my skin for no less than 60 seconds. So a full minute I like to be cleansing my skin, and then I wash this off and my skin feels so good. A huge problem I have with cleansing, even with like cleansers that are geared more towards like dry skin, is that I can tend to feel like kind of tight and overstripped afterwards, and this never ever feels like that. I feel like my skin is clean, but it's fresh and still hydrated, which I love. It's also really good for getting off makeup. I do wear a ton of makeup, and I feel like this does a really good job of getting pretty much everything off. So I love this cleanser, very slept on. And finally, I think I swatched these recently on my Instagram stories, and people lost their shits. These are the Touch in Sol Medalist Liquid Glitter Toppers. These are everything I wanted the Stila Glitter and Glows to be, but better. This is the shade Urban Bronze. Basically, similar idea to the Stila ones. It's just a liquid glittery eyeshadow. Absolutely freaking stunning. Like, so beautiful. The difference is these are a bit more of a liquidy texture, whereas I feel like the Stila ones dry out so quickly. So you get a lot more playtime with these because they don't dry down as quickly. I feel like the effect that these give is akin to the Stila ones, but almost a little bit more of a wet looking effect, glossy lid effect with just this beautiful smattering of glitter all throughout. Touch in Sol is a brand that I don't really think that they're known for anything in particular, but they're definitely not known for these, and I think they 100% should be. So these are my favorite thing from them. Alright guys, that is it. Those are some of my hidden gem favorites. It's one of my favorite things to do, just like wandering through Sephora, swatching random products from brands and just finding things that are really good, and these are some of my favorite products that fall into that category. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed down below, and also follow me on Instagram to see makeup looks like this posted, I don't know. And if you made it to the very end of this video, you get the bonus meme. I love you very much.
Oh my god, I'm so full. I can't. That was good. That was delicious.